friends. I hope you're doing well. This is Talisha here, wanting to share the revision process with you. I am doing Rewrite 30. In case you are unfamiliar with what I'm talking about, I decided to do a 30-day revision challenge because the thought of writing 30 new poems overwhelmed me when I know good and well I have so many poems that need to be revised that I haven't even looked at outside of the first draft when I created them. And so that's what I've been doing. And I figured I would bring you along for the ride as I work on day 14's poem. I don't know what poem I'm going to be revising. I do have all of my docs open that have current works in progress. I am using Google Docs. I am in the I'm in the process of de-Googling my life, but I have not been able to find my alternative to Google Docs that I enjoy just yet. So if you have any recommendations for alternatives, please let me know in the comments of wherever I drop this. But yeah, so I'm about to figure out what poem I want to revise. So basically how my poems are organized in these docs, I have each year has its own working drafts folder. So we are currently in 2024, and each poem has is the title is a heading, and so that shows up over here, and that's how I'm able to like kind of scroll through, and I can click through and go to any of the poems. They are kind of numbered and also separated by the month. So in March, I wrote 24 poems in 2024, and then I do have some icons just to kind of help me see what the content might be. So I have a lot of poems that I've written that are in response to the genocide and occupation happening in Palestine. So those will have like the Palestinian flag, for example. So yeah, this is me just kind of going through it and trying to figure out what I might want to revise. I will say I'm not focusing on any of the Palestinian poems during this time. I have a different, I'm thinking that those will maybe go into like a zine or something that will either be free or attached to some kind of fundraiser for folks in Palestine. I'm not sure, so I'm not going to be looking at any of those today. But yeah, I'm gonna see what I might want to work on. Um, Hmm. And some of these I do have like, so this is my drafts to edit next doc. So this last year was like something that I was actively working out of. So some of these have already been revised and completed. Uh yeah, let me see. Mm, what is my vibe today? Hmm, draft two. Oh, that one's pretty much done. Pantoum. Uh hmm, maybe this one. I'm also gonna click through. I don't really have a rhyme or a reason for the poems that I've decided to revise this month. I'm pretty much just uh kind of going by feel, you know, what am I called to today? Again, some of these are already revised and even published, but not all of them. So I'm just kind of clicking through. I think I'm gonna go with the one that I already chose though. So yeah, let's go with this one. And so I'm just gonna copy this over into my Rewrite 30 doc. And I do copy it over twice because I want to keep the first draft available and visible. I don't know, this is just, I don't know why it's so weird. Anyway, but I like to, like, for example, so this was the eighth poem that I revised, but the first version is here, right? Or a good example could be this one, like I dropped it in as draft one, speculative, self-portrait, speculative fiction. And yeah, it went through a couple of different drafts. So I like to have the very first draft available, just so it's there. So I'm gonna turn this one into draft two. And then I'm gonna read through it because I don't actually know what this poem is saying. It's been so long. As you saw, when did I don't even know. Note to self. Which one? Note to self. Oh, so this I think this is a 2023 poem then. Note to self. Yeah, so this was the 72nd poem I wrote in 2023. So yeah, okay. Anyway, this is draft two of, well, this is the first draft of Note to Self after Nikita Gill. A list of what I wish I could tell my younger self. One, there will be so many moments that are brighter and bolder than you'd ever imagined, butting up against each other like the insides of kaleidoscope. Two, you will love with only half the capacity of your heart. This will be the first time your instincts failed you by allowing you to give any of it at all. 2A, you will know not all love is like this and still not seek it out. 3, you will worship your body at its biggest. Wear short skirts, crop tops, jeans with really big rips to show off your thighs. 3A, your back fat will always be your softest spot, but you will learn to be tender about it with lacy cardigans. 4, the nameless thing that grew up with you wasn't nameless at all. You will learn to pronounce all 5 of its syllables one day. They will roll off your tongue every time you say my mother had schizophrenia. 4A. You will always remember how little you understood your mother, how embarrassed you were of her because of what you did not know, how you would wish you could explain away her talking out loud to no one as she walked home from the corner store. If only there was some way for people to think she was talking on the phone, even though she wasn't holding one up to her ear. 4B, they will invent Bluetooth headphones in 1999. Interesting. Okay, so I said this was a 2023 draft, right? So something wonky is going on with the formatting just off the bat. So let's, hmm, okay, we're just gonna go and make it look how I think it's supposed to have looked. Hello. Why is this not? Okay, immediately having formatting issues, not feeling that. So let's see. 0. None. Wait, start and special must both be set. I don't want any indentations. So where does a poem normally start? Okay. Here we go. So let's go ahead and put this, I guess at 0. Okay. And then let's see. This is also what? Okay. This is also weird. Okay, let me just remove all of, gosh, I can't even get to the revision part yet because this is so janky. Um, I think it's because, hmm, let's just skip out all of that. And I'm actually gonna pause the recording for just a moment because low-key, I'm at work right now and I'm about to clock out. So I need to do that. And I don't want y'all just hanging around waiting for me. So let me pause the recording. I'll be right back, friends. Okay, friends, I'm back. I just had to clock out of work, tell everybody goodbye, all that good stuff. Okay, and now back to trying to figure out what the heck is going on with formatting. I think it's because I don't want to indent this, but actually, I'm thinking in this, do I want it numbered? Like, do I even care about the numbers? Let me try it without them. Um, so one of the things that I really like to do, I'm very, is this part? So I'm very curious. I'm assuming this line is supposed to be a part of the poem. Let me go back. Yeah, I don't know. This was so janky. Okay, anyway. Um, let me just go through because it's a list poem. I do kind of want it to be numbered, but I don't like how it was. So maybe I'm gonna do 1, like the Roman numerals. There will be so many moments that are brighter and bolder than. See, like, what is this? Why is there a line break on than? I mean, I get bolder than. Maybe that's the surprise. What is it bolder than? But I don't like that break. So there will be so many moments that are brighter and bolder than you'd ever imagine, butting up against each other like the insides of a kaleidoscope. Mm, what am I saying here? I think what I mean by this, because I think I can say this better. I think what I'm trying to say here is kind of just mostly that, like, I don't know, I think I'm surprised by how much how things kind of turned out. Like back when I was younger, I didn't really see myself as being like, I think if we're thinking in terms of colors or tone, like lighting in this sense, I really felt like dark. I really felt like there wasn't a whole lot of brightness. I was very angsty, okay? So I think that's why this is so important. So maybe we'll keep it as is right now. We won't cut, but we'll just like change how it's showing up on the page. So 1, there will be so many moments that are brighter and bolder than you'd ever imagined, butting up against each other like the insides of a kaleidoscope. Okay, that feels better. Ooh. 2, you will love with only half the capacity. Actually, I think I want you will love with only half the capacity of your heart. This will be the first time your instincts have failed you by allowing you to give any of it at all. So I kind of want this to be like a couplet. Um, this time your instincts failed you by allowing you to give any of it all. So I said a couplet, but now I've turned it into a tercet. Anyway, okay, 3, you will know not all love is like this and still not seek it out. And then let me see. Okay, so that was 2A. My bad. This is where it becomes a problem that I did not I didn't think about this. 2A. Okay, so this is really random. This is not gonna work with the Roman numerals, obviously. Let's just turn this back into numbers, but I think maybe we'll keep the numbers separate. 2A, and then maybe we do that. Okay. Oh no, this is why it's a revision, right? We're playing around. We're seeing what may and may not work. Um, you'll worship your body at its biggest. Wear short skirts, crop tops, jeans with really big rips to show off your thighs. And then, yes, that's 3A. 3A. Okay. Your back fat will always be your softest spot, but you will learn to be tender about it with lacy cardigans. Okay. 4. Okay. The nameless thing that grew up with you wasn't always nameless at all. You will learn to pronounce all 5 of its syllables one day. They will roll off your tongue every time you say, "My mother had schizophrenia." This is 4A. Yeah, that's 4A. Okay. 4A. Just go ahead and put you on the next page, bruh. You will always remember how little you understood your mother, how embarrassed you were of her because of what you did not know. And then where's okay, cool. Um, how you wish you could explain away her talking out loud to no one as she walked home from the corner store. If only there was some way for people to think she was talking to the phone, even though she wasn't holding. Ooh, child, this is a very lengthy sentence. So, definitely going to be revising this. And then for B, there were even Bluetooth headphones in 1999. Okay. So let's just read through it and see what it's feeling like now. And then I'm wondering, because this is note to self, but I think we're just gonna turn this into the title, right? Okay. That was so weird. I don't know. Okay. This is draft 2, a list of what I wish I could tell my younger self after Nikita Gill. 1. There will be so many moments that are brighter and bolder than you'd ever imagined, butting up against each other like the insides of a kaleidoscope. 2. You will love with only half the capacity of your heart. This will be the first time your instincts fail you by allowing you to give any of it at all. 2A. You'll know not all love is like this and still not seek it out. 3. You will worship your body at its biggest, wear short skirts, crop tops, jeans with really big rips to show off your thighs. 3A, your back fat will always be your softest spot, but you will learn to be tender about it with lacy cardigans. 4. The nameless thing that grew up with you wasn't nameless at all. You will learn to pronounce all 5 of its syllables one day. They will roll off your tongue every time you say, "My mother had schizophrenia." 4A. You will always remember how little you understood your mother, how embarrassed you were of her because of what you did not know, how you would wish you could explain away her talking out loud to no one as she walked home from the corner store. If only there was some way for people to think she was talking on the phone, even though she wasn't holding one up to her ear. 4B. They will invent Bluetooth headphones in 1999. Okay. So off rip, I feel like this is a little bit better. There's a lot of tightening to be done. Um, I bolded this because this felt like really clunky. Oh, there was a thought I had. This will be the first time your instincts failed you. Oh, I think it's fail you by allowing you to give any of it all. This is still clunky. I want to like fix this, but at least that helped. So I'm going to use I'm developing a revision strategy, friends, and it's called Root to Canopy. I'm like just feeling so freaking extra lately that I'm like, yeah, let me just create a revision strategy. Why not? And so it's called From Root to Canopy, and it basically is like using the imagery, for lack of a better word, of a tree, right? And so you start from the root of the tree. And in this case, the root would be the emotion, right? Or the theme, what is pulsing beneath this poem. And so that first part is asking yourself, like, what moved me or inspired me to write this poem in the first place? What am I trying to understand, name, or hold here? Or what unspoken question sits beneath the lines? So honestly, this poem was written like I don't know, almost 2 years ago at this point. So as far as like probably what moved me to write this piece, I mean, clearly I'm assuming the title of Nikita Gill's poem was Note to Self, and like felt compelled to write a note to myself. So things that I wanted to kind of maybe mm, let let younger me know, like, oh, this will be okay, or you'll get past these things. So I think that's what moved me in the first place, as far as like what I'm trying to understand, name, or hold here. I think I feel like, and I love this. This is what I love about writing poetry or anything like of the sort is that like sometimes you just don't even know what you are trying to say. Like you're the one who wrote it. And, like when people are asking you about like the motivation behind your poem or what you mean, etc. It's like so funny to just be like, uh, actually, I have no clue what what I meant or what my purpose here was. So that said, I think what I'm getting from just re-entering into this poem, what I'm getting at is there's like these feelings of mm, just like there's so much possibility. That's what I'm getting from this, right? Like from this first stanza, we're getting like there's so many moments that are brighter and bolder than you'd ever imagine, right? And then there's also like the possibility of um well, like you will love with only half the capacity of your heart. And it's like there's this like warning, right? There's this warning of like heartbreak, right? But there's also like the possibility, like there's this whole other half, right? That could be loved with. And here it is, like plain as day. You will know not all love is like this. There's so much possibility there, but and still not seek it out. There's this fear. So possibility and fear, right? Kind of balancing on either ends of the seesaw if we're looking at that. Um, I guess in this section, this is like this feels like the possibility of self-love, right? Like thinking like when I was younger, I would definitely not think that I would wear crop tops when I was younger. And I love crop tops. They're my favorite. Like, what embarrassed of my belly? Where? Right? And of course, yes, your back fat will always be your softest spot. That is definitely something that is an insecurity, mostly because I can't see it, right? It's behind me. So it's something that I think people can see and can judge. And so that is a soft spot um, for the part of me that is like, not wanting people to be judgmental and I never want to be like the person that is the joke but doesn't realize they're the joke, right? Like I don't know, that's the thing, but you'll learn to be tender about it with lacy cardigans. So it's like this, the learn to be tender about it is like, yeah, it's gonna keep me in a soft spot, but like the lacy cardigans, and I don't know if this comes across really well, so this is a thing to consider. The lacy cardigans is just like I'm these are cardigans that are not like solid, that they have like they're a lace type fabric, so like you can see through them, but you can't see through them. Like, they're like kind of holy, like knitted almost, or like I don't know, lace. It's holy, but it covers, but it doesn't. I don't know how to explain it. So maybe this is an area. I don't know if might be an area to like maybe make it more clear what I'm trying to say. But anyway, and then obviously we have this huge shift, right? It's very like me centered, right? Like the experiences that I have, the love, the body, the way I envision my body, and then we come to this shift, this volta, if you will, which is like a turning point. And now all of a sudden we're talking about my mom and her schizophrenia, which is another soft spot. I'm not saying soft spot here, but it is a soft spot. Um, like we're talking about this embarrassment, this humiliation, because I didn't understand. I didn't understand what was happening. I didn't understand her illness, her mental illness. And yeah, so it led to like that shame and that embarrassment and led to me wishing I would watch her walking home from like the corner store and she would just be talking and talking and talking, just yapping. My mama was a yapper, y'all. And this was before like cell phones were like in every single household. Like, like we were in Detroit. We were on food stamps, okay? And so like cell phones were not like you had to be having some money, I think, at that point. And I don't think Bluetooth was even um it was a thought, obviously, because it was they invented them in 1999. But yeah, all through like the mid to late 90s, just watching that and just wishing that there was some way, like, if only people could think that she was like singing or talking to somebody. And then this was invented. I don't know, really interesting. So that was me yapping about the poem instead of revising it. So let's figure out what I want to do with this poem now. So the next thing, so this is me kind of like thinking about the why of it, like, and so some different. I feel like there's not like I feel like there's areas that I could probably drill down to make the emotions better. Like I really think that this stanza here has a lot of potential to like punch emotionally. So I think this is where I'm gonna have to do a lot of work. In figuring out how to say this. So you will always remember how little you understood your mother, how embarrassed you were of her because of what you did not know, how you would wish you could explain away her talking out loud to no one as she walked home from the corner store. If only there was some way for people to think she was talking on the phone, even though she wasn't holding up one to her ear. So you're like, that's just so clunky. I really do like this note to self, right? Like, and maybe that's where the note to self comes back in, right? For a note to self, because this is all a list of things that I wish. Okay, so note to self: you will always remember how little you understood your mother. I think this is a period. How embarrassed you were because of what you did not know. And then I'm going to say, I don't necessarily want to say because of what you did not know. It was something that wasn't talked about, right? Which is so wild. But like nobody talked about my mother's mental health. So I didn't even know. I mean, I was just like, this is not how things should be, but I didn't know why they were like this. So anyway, I think, let's see, how embarrassed you were because of what I don't know. Do I want to like do I want to externalize it like because of what like people didn't like no one told me, or do I want to say mm, Let's see, note to self. You will always remember how little you understood your mother, how embarrassed you were because of what you. Mm, sorry, I'm just gonna go back up and look and see what other language we've used. Kaleidoscope, images, images. There's not a whole lot of like really good solid imagery in this poem, so that's not helping me pull something. How little you understood your mother, how embarrassed you were. Maybe I even want to say embarrassed, right? How maybe it's something like the shame. Hmm. I kind of almost want to play a little bit with the push and the pull of like this thing where it's like she's talking so much and that's the thing, that's the problem. But like it's because no one talked about what was happening that's why there was this embarrassment. So I kind of want to like, mm, maybe it's how embarrassed you were to admit. No, I kind of want to like, where do I? Okay, so let me think about that time. Not a great time. This is not me re-traumatizing myself. FYI, this is just me kind of just thinking back, right? Like, mm, I wonder if maybe this is just like simplified to you will always maybe it's note to self. There will always be shame. Um, synced with how little you understood your mother. And then we get rid of this. And I'm using synced because Bluetooth pairing. Maybe I don't know. Note to self, there will always be shame. Synced. I don't like connected, tied, linked to, paired. There'll always be. Let's go with surrounding. How little you understood. Shame surrounding. Shame. Maybe let's think about bonded. Like maybe they're mm, kind of just thinking about. There'll always be shame stemming from a little. So maybe this is there will always be shame stemming from how little understood your mother. How you would wish you could not explain away her explain, talking out loud to no one. Explain. Mhm. Let's see. This is I didn't talk through any of that, but like note to self, there will always be shame stemming from how little you understood your mother. You cannot explain her talking out loud. So I wonder if this is like maybe this is let's see. You cannot explain her talking out loud. Oh gosh. What I want to do is oop, oh gosh. And then maybe this is the continuation. And then, okay, sorry. Note to self. Why am I saying sorry, girl? Note to self. There will always be shame stemming from how little you understood your mother. How you, ugh. 4A. Note to self. There will always be shame stemming from how little you understood your mother. You cannot explain her talking out loud to no one as she walked home from the corner store. If only there was some way, and I kind of want this to maybe be emphasized, like to be some way. If only there was some way for people to think she was talking on the phone, even though she wasn't holding up, even though she wasn't holding. Okay, so this is kind of clunky. So maybe this is just Maybe this is highlighted, even though she wasn't. Oh, that's one. Italics. Okay. Note to self. There will always be shame stemming from how little you understood your mother. You cannot explain her talking out loud to no one as she walked home from the corner store. If only there was some way for people to think she was talking on the phone, even though she wasn't. 4B. They will invent the Bluetooth. They will invent Bluetooth. 4B. They will invent Bluetooth headphones in 1999. So I kind of think maybe this should be like together with this to show this was the break, or even, and then we come back. So maybe this isn't. And then 4B is just, okay, let's read it from the top and see. A list of what I wish I could tell my younger self after Nikita Gill. One, there will always, no, let me start over. And now I'm thinking, do I want these on? I don't want it indented though. Please, no. No indentation, please. Ugh. So here we go. Have to get really specific. Okay. Do I like that? Darn, this is bolded. I don't always bold it. Okay. One, there will be so many moments that are brighter and bolder than you'd ever imagined, butting up against each other like the insides of a kaleidoscope. Two, you will love with only half the capacity of your heart. This will be the first time your instincts fail you by allowing you to give any at all. 2A, you will not know all love. You will know not all love is like this and still not seek it out. I think this is something that I want to like. You will know not all love is like this. I need to like elaborate here. What is like this? I mean, clearly it was a poor experience. I was thinking about a heartbreak. So is not all love is like this. Let's go. Um, it was, if I'm thinking about that, it was, for some reason the word that is popping in my head is diluted. I don't think that's the right word, but like let's go with it because that's what popped into my mind. You will know love, not all love is like this, diluted, bland, mm, a bad aftertaste. Aftertaste. Maybe not like this. Like maybe parentheses. Oop. And italics. Okay. You will know not all love is like this, diluted, bland, a bad aftertaste, and still not seek it out. 3. You will worship your body at its biggest. Wear short skirts, crop tops, jeans with really big rips to show off your thighs. 3A. Your back fat will always be your softest spot, but you will learn to be tender about it with lacy cardigans. 4. The nameless thing that grew up with you wasn't nameless at all. You will learn to pronounce all 5 of its syllables one day. They will roll off your tongue every time you say, "My mother had schizophrenia." 4A, note to self. There will always be shame stemming from how little you understood your mother. You cannot explain her talking out loud to no one as she walked home from the corner store. If only there was some way for people to think she was talking on the phone even when she wasn't. 4B, they will invent Bluetooth headphones in 1999. So maybe it's still, even though I'm wondering, to no one. Hmm, I don't know. I think this might be it for draft two. I think that we are getting closer. I had a note. I think was it this? Where was it? Oh gosh, the heck. Okay, there's this note. Where did it go? Child. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I had this note in the original. Maybe don't say the word or use slashes for the syllables or underscores. So I had this note about like not actually saying the word in the poem, but I think that I want to say the word in the poem. And of course, now my computer is freezing. Oh, hello? Okay. That was wild. I think that was my computer letting me know, like, we're done. We're done. So I think I am calling it. I do think that I want to leave it as, yeah, every time you say my mother had schizophrenia, I do think I want to leave the word in there. I think that I don't like where this is though. Like maybe this is on its own line. Oh gosh. Okay. Um, I don't know. This is interesting. I don't necessarily love how it looks on the page, but um it's not awful. Anyway, I will eventually, I think my mouse is like about to be out of battery. I'm gonna change this because it's kind of bothering me that the title is not camouflage. But I think this is where I'm gonna leave this draft. I might come back to it later today, or this might be something that I don't return to until after Rewrite 30 is done. Who knows? Or I might finish tomorrow's poem and get the urge to come back. That's what happened with my Sestina. So I was on um I came in and I made draft 2 of my Sestina, and then like a couple days later I came through, like after I had finished my revision for the day on a different poem. I came back and I was like, I want to work on this Sestina, and I worked it through drafts 3, 4, and I got to draft 5, which is where it's at now. So all of that to say, I might come back to this. This is my 14th poem of the month. Let me go ahead and note that. Yeah, but I've revised 14 poems. Thank you for being here as I worked through this revision. We only went through like it's just me. It's just me. I only went through the first part of the root to canopy revision method that I was mentioning, where I talked myself through the why of it, the root, right? The emotional part or the thematic part. But yeah, there's more pieces to it that maybe I will get into if I do another revise with me. I guess that's what I'm calling this. I don't know what this is, but basically the the long and the short of it is, the next part is the trunk. What form is holding this poem up? Is it doing its job? Which I guess we kind of did work through that a bit in this, because I was very concerned about the way that it was pasting onto the page. I was very concerned about the form, so I did change that. So I guess we did do that work without me actually like naming it. And then canopy, which is the reach, like what does this poem offer to the reader, and how does it leave them, right? Like, is the ending over explained? Is it vague? Am I allowing enough space for the reader's interpretation? What is the emotional note I'm leaving them on? Those questions I didn't ask myself during this revision session, just because I didn't really go that deep. I mean, I did try to add a little bit more, but I don't know. I think that's where we're at. There's also a bonus layer to that revision method. Um, the forest floor. Have you noticed the theme? All my stuff is kind of like plants and nature and groundwork themed. And so anyway, the forest floor is the bonus layer, which is where all the fallen bits go, right? What needs to be cleared away for new growth? What can you cut? So asking yourself, what am I holding on to out of habit, not intention? Is there a line or image or a metaphor that I love but is not serving this poem? What needs to be cleared out so that the strongest parts are the strongest parts, right? I did like a little bit of that with kind of chopping down to make this not as chunky as it was, but I definitely there could probably be more cuts. Anyway, this has been really long. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I'm gonna say thank you so much for watching this, listening to me, witnessing me work through a revision. And when I get through and get to the final version, I hope that it gets published somewhere and you'll get to read it. But yeah, happy revising, friends. If you want to join Rewrite 30, you still can. It is a free challenge. If you head to my website, talishajpoetry.com, there is a Rewrite 30 tab at the top, and you can sign up. Our next revision, live revision session is the 16th of April, and then the final one is the 30th of April. If you're seeing this after April 2025, then the challenge is over, friends. Sorry, but you can still, challenge yourself to revise a poem a day for 30 days. So anyway, that's all I have for you. Happy revising, friends. I hope you have a great rest of the month. Yeah, I need to work on outros too, apparently. Bye.